Oh shit. What the fuck? Where's that from?
That's my intro track, Eric. It's from the Disney classic film Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse
Oh
of the
no.
Black Pearl. Music by Hans Zimmer.
Wow, you would choose a Hans Zimmer production to open in. Did you know that it was November, Ty?
So what? I'm reminiscing on my Halloween festivities, Eric, for I dressed up as Johnny Depp visiting a children's hospital.
Johnny Depp visiting a children's hospital. Okay, so obviously you dressed up as either somebody who just left court or Jack Sparrow. Which one was it?
Eyeliner and all, baby, I was Jack Sparrow. Savvy?
Very nice. So how did you like weave in this children's hospital element? Please enlighten me.
Uh, all you have to do is be sympathetic to people. It's more of a mental thing.
Oh my God. Okay, and please tell me how you did that. Did you say thank you to your sandwich artist finally?
You know, I always say thank you, Eric. I'm not like you at Subway. Eric is so like stoic with his sandwich artist. It's like I feel bad for the artist because the artist is very stoic and Eric's very stoic. So it's kind of a standoff between the two.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if two sculptures had a staring contest, except
Yeah,
Eric's a little more sculpted.
thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like when you see the Stonehenge in person. That's what it looks like
Hmm.
when I ordered a sandwich.
Exactly. Uh,
Wow.
Me,
It's
I'm not like that, Eric. I have a heart. And I share my heart with my sandwich artist. I wear my heart on my plastic glove.
mm, that would be also just like a beating heart on a plastic glove.
Yeah, straight from the ER.
Wow. Ty, I don't say thank you at Subway because I'm vibrating at a very high frequency when I'm there. I'm in my creative element, and that means that I have one AirPod in. I'm not saying please or thank you. Okay, I'm listening to Joe Rogan, and I'm debating whether or not I'm going to put meatballs or chicken breast on my sandwich. And I don't have room for any like, um, politeness or any kind of like everyday shit. I'm here to like
Right.
create. I'm here to link and build in studio, and I'm there to get out.
I get
Food
that.
is
You're
fuel.
finding flow. You're finding flow, right? The flow channel is somewhere between anxiety and boredom. If it's too challenging, you experience anxiety. If it's too boring or like you don't have the if you're too good at it, you get bored.
Mm,
And I think in the sandwich lineup, you're trying to find that middle ground. You're trying to find the flow that wants to keep you creating, you know? Put on
exactly.
some Migos on your one AirPod, bop your head, see what's
hmm
fresh.
hmm
Or should I say
Um,
duos? Put on some duos.
oh shit. That's true. One Migo. Damn. RIP Takeoff, man. That's crazy.
RIP
That's
takeoff.
crazy.
This is breaking news today. How do you feel about this, Eric?
It's really gross. Like, really, like, honestly, you just like heard about it and I was like really disturbed by it. Just like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? Like, probably because they're like really famous. Like, they're like a mainstream artist.
Mm-hmm.
Versus
Mm-hmm.
versus like when I don't know, like XX Tentacion passes away.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a subculture of like rap music and
Yeah, like
equally
Juice
tragic,
World.
equally tragic, but like doesn't compare to like somebody who like everyone kind of knows about. It's like hits a little different.
Yeah, totally. It's not like a niche death. It's a mainstream celebrity death.
hmm He was
It's
on
pretty,
Ellen or something, right? If
dude.
you're on
I'm sure.
Ellen and you die, that's everyone's gonna be like aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I, wow. Yeah, that's how you know you've made it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset about this too, Eric. Obviously, duo doesn't sound the same as Migos. It doesn't have the same kind of ring to it.
hmm
And it's just a big hit for the music industry.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
gonna,
It felt. feels wrong to not address it, you know? But in a weird way, I think this comes at like a really like interesting time for the Migos to get back together because
Mm.
they like this whole year it's been like inner turmoil with the group. I feel like
Hmm.
fucking DJ Academics here, but but yeah, like didn't they like break up and now this is something that's gonna bring the family back together, those who are left, right?
Yeah, dude. All great trios go through this type of turmoil at some point. Look at the Joe Bros. And I think that they meet. Unfortunately, a tragedy like this is what will bring Migos back together. They'll realize that family is everything.
Hmm.
Reconfigure their relationship with one another because, like, Quavo and Offset are going to be holding each other close tonight because that's all they got now.
Literally.
Yeah,
Damn, man.
damn.
I've it's hard for me to get the image out of my head. Did you watch the video of it happening?
Wait, there's a video of it happening?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah, dude.
shit, no.
Dude,
That's
it's
traumatizing.
it's very traumatizing. I can't stop thinking about um like the marinara stain at that hotel that'll be there forever.
Damn. So you obviously have all the details then. Who done it? How they did it? Where
I
they
don't
did
know
it?
anything. Don't put that on me. If the
PI
ops are
Eric.
listening, yeah, if the ops are listening, I don't know anything. But
Hmm. He's not
uh
talking.
I ain't talking. I just saw
He's
the
st
video of him like laying on the ground and
Damn.
yeah, it's disturbing. I don't even want to describe it further than that.
Whether you're in front of a sandwich artist or the 12,
God
you are
damn it.
as stoic as can be.
Yeah, whether you're in front of the 12 or the 12 inches.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Is there
Damn.
like a coincidence that police love Subway so much? Is it because they've named the sandwich after themselves?
Hmm. It's possible. I think the police like Subway so much is honestly, if I really had to break it down to like the lowest level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Eric, uh, I think the police, they all got to walk the beat, right?
Hmm.
And every beat has a way on it. And we
What?
talked about this in a every beat has a subway. There's so many subways. You're
What's
gonna
a
walk
beat?
past one. When you walk the beat, like do your do your lap of like the street. You're on foot.
Mm,
You're on your beat.
harassing innocent teenagers and whatnot.
Telling the unhoused to move along. Um,
All
issuing a
right,
parking fine, maybe.
yeah, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you're walking the beat. You walk past a subway. No matter what, guaranteed it's gonna happen. And if you're on the street all day, like that's the first good smell that you're gonna experience, and like it should draws you in.
It
So
does. It's a safe
not
haven.
it's a safe haven. Not to mention that I feel like a subway is a nice like area to scope out crime as a police officer poised on a window seat in a subway. You have eyes on the street. You know who's coming in, coming out. We know we've been monitoring google.com/news with the keyword subway sandwiches for like 3 years. Every single day at a subway, some shit goes down, Eric. It like I'm surprised that takeoff crash landed in a hotel and not at our local way. Um,
Hmm. It's a higher chance, technically, of it happening at a way because there's 44,000 locations worldwide.
yeah, the odds are not in Subway's favor for that. So it's in a way, Subway is subsidizing every municipal police force by
Hmm.
in, making a inviting environment for them and therefore benefiting from the added security.
You're absolutely right
Kind of
about
a
that.
Yeah, it's kind of a symbiotic relationship if you think about it, Eric. The the police force gets fed, Subway gets paid, and Subway's got like the whole squad watching their back,
Hmm.
keeping the riffraff out.
It's a perfect symbiotic relationship. Um, and we're just in there as the parasites,
Hmm.
feeding on sandwiches. But ah, man, it's kind of like when those like firefighter shows or like those like really romanticized like clips of like firefighters like, oh, the alarm rings, so you gotta like leave this like game of chess and just like go run. I'm picturing the same thing, but like a police officer like dropping his foot long and just like running out like to save the day.
Damn. You know, it's a funny thought because dropping the foot long is not a very romantic concept. Having it like imagining a foot long fly through the air is feels disgusting, and then it hitting the ground and that smear stain, that skid mark, uh,
hmm
everything about it just makes me uncomfortable, Eric.
exactly. It's like food waste is always funny, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like hence like food fights. But there's something really like wasteful about a Subway sandwich. Like I don't feel bad wasting it. It's like
No.
I asked for extra olives and I got for it. I don't care if I drop it. You know what I mean? The veggies that fall on the paper, it's like I didn't pay for them anyway. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You have no emotional or monetary attachment to them.
hmm
But I also like the Subway sandwich is so funny because there's so many like elements that can just explode out of it if you like end up in a splatter scenario with your foot long. Like it doesn't have to hit the ground with much force to get like a big circle of impact. Shit's gonna go
hmm
everywhere, all different colors and sizes. So I think visually that's really dramatic, you know?
hmm I also think I have like some mild PTSD from working in a deli and just like the feeling of like walking, along the line and there's like you just feel on your feet like a piece of salami just like stuck to your shoe. Like you've stepped on a salami and it like slid like an inch and then now it's stuck to your shoe and you're like, oh fuck, like now I gotta like take off my gloves. Like, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I have empathy, Ty, for those who work at Subway who have to clean up after not only the police, but anybody who decides to not pick up a black olive that rolls off of their sandwich and then off of their paper onto the ground.
Mhm. 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 And that's happening every day. Every sandwich loses at least one vegetable.
Hmm
Here's the weird thing about Subway sandwiches, Eric, though. They they like visually they look pretty solid, right? You can close your eyes, imagine a foot long. You see like a bunch of stuff neatly tucked under bread. It's hard to imagine that entire thing coming undone. Someone basically hand sewed it up like stitches on your like elbow or
hmm
whatever. But
hmm
if you actually imagine taking that, picking that foot long up and hucking it across a room, how quickly it would just break open and pieces would go everywhere. It'd be like a
hmm
shotgun like splatter, right?
Yeah, that's literally the example I was thinking of. It's like the shotgun, like spray of all the lettuce,
Mhm.
just shredding its way through the air. That's
Mhm.
pretty amazing, Ty. I think Subway has a lot to learn from the Donair community when it comes
Mm.
to rapping, and also the Mexican community as well. Because Ty, when I had my Donair rap last night, I was really impressed by how the paper was almost like it had like an onboarding process. It was like,
Really?
yeah. So I had this like wrap, right? And it was like wrapped up like a nice little baby, just like tucked in perfectly. It was about to go sleep. Little did it know it was going to go sleep again in my tummy. Um, but it had almost like a sleeve on top. And I just like, all I did was like pull this like sleeve off of the top of the donair and it was like perfectly exposed. Like one quarter of it was like
Mm.
visible. And I was like, wow, that was like so easy to just like pop open and eating. Think about Subway, like you got to unwrap the entire sandwich for it to be
Mhm.
like before you can start eating. And that's a problem because you have to like rewrap your sandwich if you want to take it home. And we all know that doesn't work out very well. Can I get
Yeah,
a
that's
box?
true. Can I box this up? I totally know what you're talking about. Like having like your food just like groundhog out of the packaging a little bit is so ergonomic. If you've
Hmm.
ever had the unfortunate scenario where you eat a Crunchwrap Supreme from Taco Bell, they have a similar type of packaging that you kind of tear away pieces as you bite down.
Hmm.
Really convenient for eating one-handed. However, Eric, I love the unwrap process of the footlong, and I'll tell you why. It feels the same way that you would like have like if you went to like the Hermes store and they brought out like a Birkin and they had the white gloves on. In this case, they're clear plastic,
Mm.
but and they like full unfold every piece to slowly reveal the sandwich. There's a like a little bit of a waiting game there, but the whole idea is to kind of put the thing, the object on a pedestal for then you to feast with your eyes and then
Hmm.
build anticipation to feast with
Hmm.
your mouth.
Yeah, I guess, there two things can be good here because the sandwich, I love when it like you like take do like a wave with it and then it just like and then the sandwich just like rolls out and then it
Hmm.
like exposes its like cute little underbelly at you. Kind of like when a dog finally warms up. Kind of like when a dog finally like says like, "Oh yeah, you can pet me," and then it's like shows you its belly. That's kind of like a sandwich. It
Damn.
always kind of just like exposes its bottom part to you. Ooh, Gucci Gucci goo, time to eat you up.
It is like a little wiener dog. You give a belly a little scratch before you. I just want to eat you up.
Exactly. And they never are able to cut all the way through the sandwich, so that's a
Mm,
good way for you to see like the full foot long in action. Like there's no cut line in the bottom of the sub. It's always just from
mm-hmm,
the top. So you get a nice little view of the entire sandwich, and then that's when you like put it back on its feet, and then you tear it in half.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's like
Wow,
the
it's
the
poetry,
the
Ty. It's
slice.
poetry in motion.
It is. And honestly, I think it's by design. I don't think the slice is supposed to go all the way through the middle of your foot long. I think it's more like a
Mm,
cut line or a tear line. They're
mm,
providing a recommendation of where you want to break your foot long in half. But at the end of the day, it's still up to you as the consumer, Eric. You could phone book style tear your foot long at the 4 inch mark, the 6 inch mark, the 10 inch mark. Doesn't matter. You do you. It's
uh,
pull aparts.
mm-hmm. Wow. Do you think there's ever going to be a situation where you would want like the paper to be included in that cut? That way you have like literally two separate sandwiches. Maybe it's when you're eating for here.
Mm,
Thinking about a burrito,
yeah,
usually it
yeah,
comes in
yeah.
like two halves. Both are still wrapped in the paper.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very common in the in big burrito industry to
Mm-hmm.
wrap it, then chop it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hmm. I don't see
Wrap
why
and
not.
chop.
That's pretty smart. I love that cross section too, like we're all wrapped up, all cozy and tucked in.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow.
Ah.
So that's the trick, Eric. If you want to bring your foot long to a food fight, it needs to be wrapped. If you want like a grenade to huck across the room or like a long range sniper instead of like the typical shotgun foot long, you need to keep it wrapped. That's the only way it's going to maintain its shape when it hits your target.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Man, I'm thinking about I had a lot of concern on my face when I had this donair because turned out it was actually Bay actually surprised me with it. I had picked her up and she said, "Guess what? I have something for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we got home and it was a donair ready to be eaten, and I was like really worried. I was like, "Oh shit, is it? It's been sitting there for a while. It's gonna be soggy."
Mm.
um, but then I unwrapped it and it was almost like you know Poppy knew he knew that I was gonna take a long time to eat it, and he just made it perfect. Um,
Damn.
so no
I mean,
worries
like
there.
when I guess when you want to optimize your meal for like long-term storage,
Mhm.
transfer the sauces from the RAM to the hard drive. And by that I mean like stick the sauces in the middle of the sandwich, not really like anywhere near the bread. Like a bed of lettuce on like one side and a bed of meats or cheeses on the other, then creates
Mhm.
a safe, like inner oozy core like the earth, where your sauces and your juicier vegetables like tomatoes and cukes can like live comfortably without compromising the rest of the sandwich. So I feel like you could actually like engineer the footlong differently to survive a long a longer time period beyond the Subway franchise.
You're absolutely right, Ty. Man, just thinking about I say this every episode now, but just thinking about these footlongs makes me like miss that good old-fashioned American cold footlong that I've been having lately. Dude, it's so good, bro. Like you gotta hop on this wave with me, Ty. You're rejecting modernity, um, but it's like not advisable at this situation that we're
Hmm,
sandwichuation that we're in here. You should be
okay.
embracing the cold footlong with me, and it's we're running out of time, Ty. It's November. You better hop on it quick, or else you're fucked.
Uh, the cold sandwiches seasonal.
You're gonna miss the cold sandwich window, and then we're gonna be waiting until August again.
Yeah, I should jump into this, at least take one for a spin. The challenge
hmm
is with a veggie sandwich, Eric, is all of your veggies are inherently cold to begin with.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you don't toast anything, it just tastes like you're eating a salad. I might as well
Exactly,
just eat a
Ty. What
salad.
is the problem here? That is exactly what you should be striving for when it comes to veggies. It's like the colder, the fresher. You know what I mean?
I
Even if
guess
it's the
so.
illusion of fresh, we'll take it.
Illusion of fresh is a cool like motto for Subway.
hmm Subway is the illusion of fresh. It's the illusion of choice. It's the illusion of healthy.
Mm-hmm. They're
There's a lot of
magicians over there, sandwich magicians.
exactly, Ty. They're one big optical illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over there like the drunk emoji, just like floating through it.
It does seem like more natural to have a cold sandwich, Eric. Uh, I'm saying that because if I told you, "Hey, do you feel like eating warm lettuce?" You'd be like, "Barf," right? Like,
hmm
"Barf, warm lettuce? No way." What if I told you a warm pickle? Barf, right? How about some
Kind of
warmed up
barfy.
what if I warmed up some mayonnaise for you? Yum or barf? Like,
I don't even want to
individual.
compare that to anything, Ty, but you're right. Some warm mayo
Yuck.
down my throat. Just squirt the whole
Mm,
bottle, actually.
squirt, squirt. Damn. So, where I'm going with this, Eric, is that isolated, no single ingredient is good warm, except maybe the bread, the cheese, and the meat.
Oh, Ty, do you remember this era of Subway where they wouldn't like the only way to like toast or get make the meats warm today is to toast your entire sandwich. It's the
Eh.
only way to warm up your meats. But remember back in the day when they used to have like a dedicated microwave for the chicken? Do you remember this?
Oh, the rotisserie chicken zone.
No, but they had like a like
Got a
they would
Whole
put the
Foods.
chicken on a little tray, almost like a little cast iron, and they would plop it into the oven, and then they
Mm,
would like put that on your sandwich.
yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
What happened to that?
I don't
Because that's
know where that
perfect.
went.
Warm meats, cold salad.
Yeah, that is perfect because like the concept of warm meats is both a cursed and delicious thought. um,
hmm
so should we replace all toasters with meat warmers? Is that the idea you're pushing for? Is that what you're the campaign you're running on in 2024?
We don't need to toast anything ever again, Ty, unless it's a pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
We're bake only on this pod. It's when it comes to baking bread, why are you doing it twice?
mm-hmm. What about paninis, Eric? The panini press was also a tool in the artist's tool belt, a color on their palette, uh, a brush in their whatever studio. But the the panini press is also a endangered species, if not fully extinct now.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a one-trick pony if you think about it. You can't do anything with a panini press other than press panini, and and just the mere square footage that thing takes up in anyone's kitchen is an embarrassment, especially in this post air fryer world that we live in.
Mm-hmm. And dude, the air fryer killed the panini press. Are you saying though that like the meat warmer was a more useful tool than the panini press? Because it is also a one-trick tool.
To be fair, I think the meat warmer was just a microwave, and they would
Mm,
microwave like the shredded chicken and then like plop it on your sandwich. So it would be like a way to avoid toasting the sandwich, but still have some warm meats. Because I'm all down for cold chicken and cold things, but I don't know about Subway cold chicken, you know?
right. I do remember hearing from a Subway insider once upon a time that
An inch
there
cider.
an insider that there's warmers, like a warming mechanism beneath the buckets. I knew this obviously with the marinara because that shit's bubbling like a volcano all day. But all of the meat buckets, supposedly there's some like warming tubes beneath it to keep your food
Mm,
like at least room temperature. It doesn't freeze like the cold November air.
mm. Just picturing that like marinara sludge just bubbling all day, kind of like in Nona's kitchen, just makes me like
Hmm.
feel happy inside. Like just to know that it's like someone has to add water every hour, you know?
Oh yeah, or it'll reduce down to it'll become
Exactly.
turned back into a tomato.
Wow. I don't know, Ty, if all the meats are like that, because wouldn't the chicken just dry it all the way out?
That's true. And your cold cuts, they the name suggests warm.
Yeah, this I'm gonna report this to the Better Business Bureau, Ty, because my cold cuts they're lukewarm, and I think it's the warming tubes.
Oh yes, I think the FDA is gonna want to see this too.
Yeah, actually, that's true. You can't store any kind of meat at a cooking temperature. Oh man.
Uh,
Well, I know what I'm gonna order next. Uh,
cool.
yeah, buddy. I'm gonna request my meats warmed separately
Mm.
and then have them applied to my sandwich. Maybe even post a veggie. Can you think about that for a sec? Like do everything and then hot meat on top. Boom. Just when you least expect it. Just pop.
Right. Pop, pop. That is the that's the probably the best way to get hot meat. I mean, is wait as long as possible.
Hmm. The other
You can
best
even
way
ask
to
them to
get
toast it after you pay. Like order a veggie
oh
sub and then immediately orders a side of meat.
oh true. Pop it in the toaster, get the terminal ready to be tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Bing.
Mm-hmm.
No tip, and then get my sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
But Ty, I think probably the best way to get warm meat in your life is to subscribe to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's two
I'm bringing,
warm wieners right here, ready to chop it up.
dude. I am heated twice a week.
Yeah, dude. Two meatballs bubbling away in that little red sauce.
Hmm.
Bloop, bloop.
uh, yeah, man. We bring the meats. All you got to bring is a couple of ears and some headphones.
That's all we brought.
It's a good deal. And the meats.
Exactly. And the meats.
Well,
Well, guys, that's
I
about
do
it for today.
appreciate the breadheads listening to us wave our meats around today. Um, thank you for tuning in an effort to, I guess you could say, like redistribute the proteins at Subway, reduce the meats. We do have a
Hmm.
petition live on change.org to bring back the beloved falafel sandwich, RIP falafel, RIP takeoff. One of those two can come back if you sign our petition. Um, link in
Exactly.
bio.
Don't let the falafel suffer the same fate as the worst Migo.
I mean, like, yes, but we can wait a little longer to say that, Eric. Let's have some respect.
You brought that energy into the podcast, Ty, and I'm just toasting it.
Fair enough. You know, I feel like I'm not looking forward to my Instagram feed, every hype beast on it, like showing like a photoshopped photo of like Pop Smoke with like in heaven, like greeting takeoff. I get every time somebody
Oh
dies,
shit.
the same thing happens.
Wow, true. It's like the like Heaven starting five or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, Juice
Yeah,
WRLD's
that's
in
true.
there.
I'd rather see Pop Smoke being photoshopped to Virgil Abloh style, than like people sharing like the one time he replied to their DM, and it's like,
Mm,
I do you, fam, or like something like that, like generic. It's like, hey, he doesn't know you, bro.
mm-hmm. So what are the qualifiers for like being legitimately like qualified to post an RIP?
Mm. You probably need to have their number at the very minimum. If it's
Yeah,
strictly on Instagram, it's like you're like barely pen pals, you know what I mean?
a text message conversation, iMessage convo would be a good one.
Yeah, it has to be the iMessage. Um,
Perhaps a photo of something that the deceased gave you. That implies that there was like a material relationship.
exactly. Some kind of exchange of goods.
Yeah, an exchange of goods. Personalized. It's just be like made one of one for you, like an NFT or signed by the creator.
hmm Yeah, if you're a sandwich artist and you made a sandwich for takeoff one time in your life,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but that's not enough to post their order. But feel free to send it to us directly via DM.
I'd love to see the receipts. He seems
Exactly.
like a an extra sauce kind of guy.
Exactly. Um, he seems like somebody who would leave off some ingredients.
That was weak. Well, we're gonna leave off the breadheads with that pun. Uh, thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great week. Think fresh.
Tickle.